start the engine sometime soon, Erica?
Don't worry, I did this 100 times during the war.
Did you ever consider that you will come back as Captain Pike and have your own Star Trek series?
Well, when they first hired me to do Captain Pike, they fortunately did not tell me that they'd been having some informal conversations about that idea. I think a lot of that depended upon how I worked out in Discovery, how we worked out, and then no, I didn't really think about that. But when they built the Enterprise bridge, and then they brought us back for the Star Trek shorts, it seemed like something was brewing, and then we were told that CBS had ordered a script, but nobody called us.
Yeah,
and
another year went by.
Yeah, we didn't have any contract, so we actually got quite fortunate that nobody got a job. And so when they did call, but then when they did call, it was the beginning of the pandemic, so we had more waiting to do.
And Rebecca, I remember when we were talking about the new shows, I think 4 or 5 years ago, you were telling me that you're looking for a big franchise because you are a sci-fi fan. So how was it to you to be on Enterprise, to see the deck and everything, having the uniform on your...
Like a childhood dream come true. I mean, really, as Anson and I both were introduced to the franchise, to the original series when we were 7 or 8 years old, to the in reruns by our mothers, to get to be on the Enterprise, to be fitted in my gold uniform, to walk onto the set of the bridge. It's just all been a complete out-of-body experience.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's completely crazy.
So I'm curious, when you guys were growing up with this franchise, what Star Trek means to you right now? What this name stands for?
Looking forward with hopefulness and optimism and a sense of natural exploration and curiosity and thinking outside the box and fostering that in our children. As Anson's a new parent and I have 14-year-old daughters, you know, as a parent, you want to nurture these themes of curiosity and exploration, thinking outside the box. So it's always been that. It's always sparked conversation with my mother. It did when I was a child, sparked conversation about whether or not we're alone in this universe, these bigger ideas. And so I hope that there continues to be a message and a takeaway and multi-generational audiences that can discuss what they got from an episode. That's what I hope it is.
Yeah, I think there's something deeply human about wanting to go and see what's out there, whether out there means the Wild West or the deep sea floor or outer space. I think there's no mistake that science fiction really took off as a genre a little after the world had been charted, right? We have something in us that wants to see what's on other planets, and Star Trek feeds right into that.
To embrace the unknown rather than fear.
To embrace the unknown.
To embrace the unknown rather than fear the unknown.
Because I think Star Trek is the one franchise that started to make sci-fi cool again for kids, and it didn't stop. And I'm curious, when you guys went for Comic Cons and you saw that you are the part of this franchise, how did you feel?
It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
It's surreal. It continues to be surreal.
And daunting, because you realize that Trek is so much more than just a TV show for so many people, particularly our neurodiverse fans. You really don't want to let them down.
And right now we have the second season. It started very rocky for you, Rebecca, because you're on trial. And I'm curious, how do you like the approach of your character that she has to defend herself in the beginning of the season?
Well, I think it's the beginning of her finally unburdening herself with this secret that she's been carrying. I think the secret has been weighing her down, and her decision to finally live authentically comes with this very tricky courtroom episode, in which she relies on Captain Pike and Nira, her attorney, and I think she's just so desperate to be true to herself and wants the crew to know who she really is. And moving forward, we'll see a freer Una.
Because it's when the politics starts. Like before episodes, it was rescuing the worlds and have a new contact. In here, we start with politics, showing that whatever you guys do, how many lives did you save, it doesn't matter because there is some rules. And to be honest, and I understand why Captain Pike is saying that aloud, the rules sometimes are stupid.
Well, there's always been a long-standing tradition within Trek of the various crews breaking or bending the rules for the greater good. And Pike giving number one asylum is one of those examples. I think the allegory in especially the second episode is open to interpretation depending on how it lands with each individual audience member with regards to prejudice or persecution. It could stand for racism or religious persecution, Holocaust survivors, the trans community. There are a number of ways in which it could be interpreted. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
And for my last one is, how did you like this crossover with Star Trek Lower Deck, to see those characters in flesh on your deck?
Fantastic. It was a tremendous amount of fun. It's always fun to work with Jonathan Frakes, who's directed both series and really helped us to blend the tones of the show. But to have Jack and Tawny there, who were so courageous in their ability to come on with characters that they already owned and wanting to go for broke to make a full comedy episode, they really raised the bar for the rest of us. Yeah.
And they really played with the material in the ways that we don't often play with the material. We are very much sticklers for the words. We memorize everything word for word and verbatim. We think that everything is written perfectly, and so that's how we memorize it. But Jack and Tawny have this background in improv, and they were able to come and really play with the material in ways that we don't typically do. So it was fun to watch them do that. Very inspiring.
All right, thank you very much. Our time is unfortunately over, so live long and prosper, guys, and good luck with the second season, and hopefully, fingers crossed,